My name is Kino MacGregor. I am an Ashtanga Yoga teacher, and I have a yoga center in Miami, but I also travel and teach all over the world, and I have the great fortune to come to some really awesome cities, like where I am right now in beautiful Warsaw at the Ashtanga Yoga School that Ava and Leszek have just recently opened. It's a really beautiful new school. You know, when I first started practicing, I was also impatient. You know, I wanted everything to happen like immediately. I wanted the postures that were really challenging for me, which were often, you know, strength-based postures. I wanted them to happen faster. And one of the things I started to realize is that there's a certain lesson that each posture, each movement really contains. And the yoga practice makes a promise to you. It's that, and the promise is that you won't be allowed to move on from your lesson until you really get it. You know, and there's no way that you can, you know, fake that. There's no way you can get a pass and get your teacher to write you a, you know, I'm too sick to do this kind of thing. The yoga practice says, you know, whatever it takes to get you to learn this, the yoga practice will give it to you. And sometimes it takes a long time. And this is particularly for, you know, the Western culture and Western students, it can be a little frustrating, you know, because we somehow think that there's always some way that we can, you know, make it work for us. We can, you know, skip a posture and just alter the practice and cut this and do that and just make it fit our little comfort zone just a little bit better. But that's that little bit of cheating that the yoga practice loves us so much it won't let us do. When we're experiencing these moments of frustrations and we want the journey to be over, one of the things I think that's really useful to remember is to bring the mind back into a simple, easy to focus task that we can focus on and work with in our practice. You know, for example, when you're working on strength, rather than pushing for, you know, the whole posture, like if you're working on handstand, for example, this is a big frustration for many people, rather than, you know, flailing your legs and just trying to do the handstand, focus on a very small and attainable movement that you can work on that day in your practice. For example, strengthening your deltoids. Just focus on feeling that strength just a little bit more. And then we have to understand that the body doesn't move in miraculous, you know, you're not balancing in handstand and then the next moment you're doing a big, beautiful handstand. The body's gonna change, you know, 1 or 2% at a time. And the mind needs to change also 1 or 2% at a time. There's not this quantum leap that we're all looking for, this big transformation and magic pixie dust we're gonna spray all over ourselves and turn into, you know, the beautiful absolute practice. What we want to look for in the moments when we feel, you know, most impatient or frustrated is we have to understand that the yoga's working its most right there because all of our stuff's getting triggered. So the way to work with this is to focus on a small, easily attainable thing that you can focus on technique-wise in the practice, like strengthening one muscle, and look for 1 or 2% change from where we are. So my impression of the Polish yoga community is that it's amazing. I really love the Ashtanga practitioners here. And I feel like the students here have so much heart that they really put their whole heart into the practice. And they sincerely understand that there's a deeper dimension to the practice. It's not just, you know, entertainment, it's not just a physical experience. And the students here are very hard workers and they're willing to do the deep and courageous work of yoga as a spiritual path. And it was really inspirational for me to be here.